everybody, and welcome to my new video. Today I am explaining an update on how my husband is doing. He is still incarcerated. Yes, he is not here right now, obviously, because he's in jail at this current time. However, we found a loophole to get him home. Now, before I explain that loophole, I have a couple things here that I want to talk about. I have a letter here to the Crown Attorney, and I have a letter here from Dustin. There's also a drawing that he did for our daughter, and I'm going to show that to you guys as well. I don't know how well I'll be able to read the letter because it is in his cursive writing, but I will try my very best to read it out to you guys. But first I'm going to explain what the lawyer said. So the lawyer went to go see Dustin yesterday, and he explained to him that the Crown did get a hold of him, and they were willing to make a lesser charge. Now, the charge that we're talking about here is an apparent robbery charge. Now, he didn't rob anybody. He was accused of robbing $20 and a pack of smokes. However, when his person was searched, he didn't have money on him. He didn't have smokes on him whatsoever. So that kind of coheres with, a bogus testimony. And he was also accused of stabbing this man when there's no medical records, there's no marks on him, he hasn't appeared in court, and he was also drunk. And the only DNA that was on the knife was Dustin's DNA. Dustin's blood, Dustin's prints, That's all that was on the knife. There was no other prints. Well, as far as I was able to see, there was no other prints. But the only blood DNA that was on that knife was Dustin's. Now, if you're joining me on this topic for the first time today, the reason why Dustin is in jail is because he tried to break up a fight that had occurred in front of Bo Diddley's. It's a bar that's in Clairview here in Edmonton. He was stopping it because it was involving his friend and another man that he didn't know. So he tried to break it up, he tried to be the peacemaker, and that all failed. Dustin ended up getting beaten himself. He had to get 11 stitches underneath his left eye. He had a black eye on the left side, a bruise under the right eye, some scratches on his cheek on the right side, and a minor concussion. Now, he already has a brain injury, and that brain injury spanned back when he was 8 years old. He was going down a hill in a cart. Boys will be boys. They like to play around. They like to do stupid stunts. And he ended up going down the hill way too fast, and he flew out of the cart and hit his head on the gravel and slid on the gravel, and that's what caused the frontal lobe brain injury. He also has PTSD. Now, if you don't know what PTSD is, it's called post-traumatic stress disorder. The reason why he has post-traumatic stress disorder was because he was beaten as a child from his stepdad, and he was also beaten in a place called Bosco Homes. That is a group home that was shut down because they were known to beat the children and the teens and all that were in that facility. He was taken to Bosco Homes when he was 14 years old, and he was there until he was 18. He did have a waiver that said that he was supposed to be there till he was 21, but he couldn't take the abuse anymore, and he ended up leaving when he was 18 because he was an adult. He had the right to leave if he wanted to, if he so chose. So he left Bosco Homes, and that was probably one of the best days of his life out of his childhood and teen years, leaving the group home. And Bosco Homes was shut down, like I said, because they were known for beating the children and the teens that were in that home. Now, it's a very, very bad situation to be in. And the reason why he went to Bosco Homes in the first place was because he was being beaten by his stepdad, and his mom couldn't take it anymore. His mom was having a breakdown and didn't want to see her son go through that pain and anguish. So she let Bosco Holmes take him. Now, she told me today that that was the worst choice she could have ever done, that she could have ever made, sorry. And she feels really bad about it, and she really wants to be able to make amends, and that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to make amends with her son, and be able to be there for him now, and do everything she can to be there for him. She's being as strong as she can, and it's really hurting her to see that the justice system is doing this to Dustin, and holding him for something that he shouldn't even be held for. Now, on to what the Crown said. The Crown said that they would make a lesser charge. However, this lesser charge would cause more time. Now, the apparent robbery charge, they wanted 18 months. And they were saying that they were willing to make a lesser charge. However, the lesser charge, on which is an aggravated assault, they wanted 2 years for. Now, that we think is bogus. So that is where this letter comes in. And if you guys want to give me the opportunity, I would like to read it to you guys. So the letter says, "Dear Sir or Madam," and this is to the office of the Crown Attorney. Okay? So it says, "Dear Sir or Madam, I write to you on this day in regards to a case you have regarding Mr. Dustin Bricks." Now, this was written on the 3rd of June. So this was written yesterday. "I am grievously disappointed with the way you have heinously handled the evidence in this case and the serious lack of regard for providing a fair and unbiased report to his attorney, Mr. Robert Walkowicz. The video you provided Mr. Walkowicz was extremely slow in being processed by your office, and after many repeated requests, the video is not the same as the one you deem as admissible in court. The video provided clearly shows Mr. Bricks as attempting to bring a cessation to the altercation that ensued, and only after being vigorously attacked did he brandish a pocket knife retrieved from the ground in a manner to defend himself from further harm. The video also clearly shows your client as the aggressor in the incident. Instead of leaving while under the influence of intoxicants, your client is shown to repeatedly attack the defendants in an aggressive manner. Why is he not in custody for his part in this crime? Was he not recently released from custody? His claim of being stabbed is unfounded, and to this day there has not been a medical report to back up his claim. The so-called robbery over a lousy $20 is not founded, as no property was taken. The apparent witnesses were patrons of the Bo Diddley's establishment, so the collection of affidavits is inadmissible due to the witnesses being under the influence of intoxicating substances. None of these factors have been taken into account. The proceedings against Mr. Bricks is based upon the assumption that the credible witness was at the scene. Where is, are he, she, they, and why have they not been present to corroborate your evidence with their testimonies? You and your associates are deliberately withholding details of why you are trying to force a conviction of an innocent victim. Yes, victim. Of the Crown's injustice towards a man who had a colored past and has been trying to amend his ways. Who's the criminal or criminals here? You and your office have no regard for persons with mental issues. Mr. Bricks received a serious injury to his frontal lobe as a child when the cart he was in careened down a hill and he was ejected onto a patch of gravel. The severity of the accident has affected Mr. Brooks throughout his life, and now you wish to detain him in an institution that is causing him to become unbalanced and suicidal without any help. Mr. Brooks has suffered detrimental effects at the hands of the justice system. Missed all of the firsts a parent has in the development of their child: Christmas, walking, talking, also relational anniversaries, birthdays, etc. What heinous crime is Mr. Brooks accused of that demands his continued incarceration and mental anguish? You and the courts have caused financial and emotional trauma to my family. As a result of your actions, my daughter suffered a life-altering heart attack. That is me. I had a heart attack in January. I was almost taken due to your uncaring and blackened souls. You do not deserve to be referred to as dignified human beings. What you are doing is worse than vicious savagery. The crime here is against a man's right to fair and dignified treatment and the right to face their accusers in a timely manner. Your witnesses will not remember the details of the incident as a time greater than 2 months has passed, and an individual, especially ones under the influence, will forget the specifics of what happened. I am Mr. Brooks's father-in-law, a man who is well learned in the legalities of Canadian law, ex-military. I will look after Mr. Brooks and his family in my home, even put certain legal restrictions in place and uphold Mr. Brooks under house arrest if requested by the court. Mr. Brooks has reasons to abide by the legal request of the court. His life with my daughter, his daughter, my granddaughter. He has a stable home to live in and has a strict mentor and loving father-in-law to set him right. As stated before, I am grievously disappointed with the lack of integrity at the Crown Attorney's Office and the mishandling of the case. I request your office to resolve the illegal discourse of this case by the end of the business day, by the end of business this day, the 3rd of June 2016. If not, I intend to give every media outlet in Canada and Facebook a copy of this letter by midnight this same day. I am discouraged that our courts would allow such reverence for illicit actions to occur under its nose, and permit such a heinous act of malcontent to pass unobstructed within its doors. I am certain that the value of someone's life means more to the general populace of than your overly fat wallets. Note to think upon: to house, feed, and tend a non-felonious inmate within the prison system costs our taxpayers over $30,000 per month. My son-in-law could be held at home for less than $2,000 per month. Respectfully, case. This is a letter that my father wrote to the Crown Attorney and emailed it to them because it would have gotten to them faster. And they did not reply by the end of the business day yesterday. So that is why I am making this video today, because it is just that important. We are so mad that it is ridiculous. Now here is the letter from Dustin. First I'm going to show you the picture. This is the picture. It's kind of hard to see, but this is the pictures that he drew for Aria. Yeah. He's not very good at drawing, but he still did a really good job. And it's for his little girl. So, that's the drawing. And this is the letter. Dearest Jess, just thought I would write a letter so you have something from me to read to the family. I miss you all like crazy and can't wait till I get to come home. Every day I think about all of you, Aria, Becky, you, and Dad, and I pray for us to be reunited. I miss just holding Aria, making her giggle and smile. I miss having family around. Yeah, I miss having family around, holding you in my arms. Your kisses, your smile, your eyes, your smell. I miss making you smile and laugh. I know when I come home, everything will get better. Anyway, tell Dad I miss and love him. And Aria, Daddy misses you so much. He cried when writing this letter. I put hearts around the tears that fell on the page to show you all how much I miss and love you. Love always, your Dusty Bear. P.S. Here's the teardrops for baby girl. So if you look, there's the hearts. And I'm going to turn the camera around so that you guys can see where the teardrops fell, because the page looks a little distorted. So I will turn the camera around right now. So that's the 3 teardrops that fell on the paper. So I'm going to put it down right there, and right there. He circled them and put hearts around them. So this is the letter. Okay. There. That's the letter. And then here's a better look at the drawings. I think it's really cute because he put Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you, little Aria. Miss you, baby. Love you. Gotta fix this here. And then there's more little letters there and speech bubbles. So I think it's the thought that counts. It's really cute. I like it. So like I said before, I will link the original video down below that I posted a little while ago. So if you haven't watched that one already, feel free to go and watch it. And like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Leave a friendly comment down below, and let's help show our support for my husband. He really does want to come home. And about the clause, the little clause, it's called the Glad You Act, and it helps inmates that that were in a group home or suffered abuse as a child and a teenager, and it really helps them because normally people who end up in jail that were in group homes and everything had a really bad past, and normally they were abused, and that's normally what turned them to crime in the first place. I'm not saying that that's what turned Dust into crime, but the Glad You Act will be able to help, because then we can also get compensation from what happened in Bosco Homes. And all we would have to do is have his mom come into the city and appear in court, so that she can attest that yes, he does have a brain injury, yes, he does have PTSD, he was abused as a child, he was abused in Bosco Homes, and it caused him to pretty much be fucked up. Pardon my language, but it's true. Like he's an amazing man overall. He's so generous, so gentle, so kind. And I mean, like, once you get to know him, you'll understand that he may be a little skittish at first, but that's because it takes time for him to trust people because of what happened to him when he was a child and a teenager. He's just so afraid, and he just needs as much support as he can get. So if you can all please, 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 please share this around, retweet it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, share it on Tumblr, this, that, the other thing, Snapchat, all of those sites. Share it, share it, share it, share it, share it, because it is so important that everybody knows that the Crown is being unbiased and unfair, and that they need to be exposed. That is it for now. I thank you for watching. I'm so sorry that it was a really long video. I do apologize, but I needed to get all of the points in play. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Like I said, give it a big thumbs up, leave a friendly comment down below, and help show your support for my husband. Subscribe to my channel for more updates and much, much, much more. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!